Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. She's back.
I'm home. I'm home.
Hope everybody is having a wonderful morning so far. Yeah, what's up? What's happening?
Well, there's some big news today. I think it's going to be a long show today. Because you guys, do you want to hear the sweetest thing ever? I was all bummed on Tuesday night, seeing all the clips of Megyn Kelly grilling Jake Tapper. And I was like, dang, I'm going to miss talking about that. And Daisy waited. She didn't talk about that with Chad because she wanted it to be with me.
I did. I was like, we have a lot of other stuff we're going to talk about. I know that because we kind of brain share. And I was like, I know she's going to be really pissed if I talk about this with Chad. So I'll wait.
I wouldn't have been pissed. I would have expected you to. But the fact that you waited,
I was like, she's going to want to talk about this. And you know what? We had so many other things to talk. We were on for like an hour and 45 minutes yesterday. We had so many other things to talk about. So I'm like, I'll save this for Ma because this will be
I love that so much because oh my God, I want to talk about it so bad. And we will talk about it. We'll have lots and lots of clips to share if you guys haven't seen that whole episode because man, it was amazing. But first we need to talk about the fact that the House this morning, like literally within the last half hour, has passed the big, beautiful bill.
It's covered in gold, you guys. It's tremendous.
Now,
it's huge.
Does that mean anything? No, because now it's got to go to the Senate.
So it means something.
It means a little something. It was the vote was 215 to 214 with one person voting present. So
by the hair of their chinny chin chin is what it was. Yes. There's going to be a lot of bitching and moaning about this thing today. So I'm sure tomorrow we're going to be talking about it a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be lots and lots of reaction. But that, it crossed a very important hurdle for sure. So that's great news. Unfortunately, we also have terrible news that we have to cover. And that is that there was a shooting last night of this precious little Israeli couple who was just about to get engaged. And the shooting was committed like outside of a Jewish museum of some sort in the nation's capital. And the guy that did the shooting is this complete leftist lunatic whack job, as you would expect. This is the guy. This happened at a Jewish museum. He is a far left activist. He's like part of the Socialism Party, which is a shocker. And of course, he was shouting "Free Palestine," long live the Intifada or whatever. Just he's everything that you would expect him to be. And he is what happens when you allow all of this hatred to fester and become normalized on all these college campuses and at other protests. So there's a video of the moment that he was arrested. Here it is.
Outside. No. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
He should he's gonna be screaming that when he becomes somebody's bitch in jail,
Yes.
Just picture it, everybody.
So Scott Jennings had this to say about the suspect. And by the way, I know his name is Elias Rodriguez. He is U.S. born. He was from Chicago. But Scott Jennings says the violent war on Western civilization emanates from the radical left. Make no mistake, it is here right now, and we cannot look the other way. I mean, enough is enough. This is of course this was going to happen.
Right. So Free Palestine is the new Allahu Akbar, right? Am I understanding that? That's what it is. Okay. I just want to make sure that we're all clear on that. That's like, that guy is like a freaking terrorist is what he is.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, he's a terrorist.
And it was, there's been some video accounts that I saw on Fox News this morning, for example. They were talking to people who were there. There was this really confusing moment where after he shot that couple, he came back into the building and then there were people that just saw him and he had thrown his gun into the bushes at that point, came in, looked all disheveled, and people were thinking, oh no, he's a victim of a shooting. And they were like, are you okay? They were offering water. And then only like, there was one woman who was interviewed on Fox who was like, yeah, I was, asking me if he was okay. Somebody I knew was asking if he wanted water. And then ultimately he said, what is this place? And she said, oh, this is a Jewish museum. And do you think that that's what sparked somebody to do this? And he was like, oh yeah, probably. I did it. And people should call the cops. The cops came in like 10 minutes or so. And then he said, I did this, and, essentially turned himself in. And that's what happened. Oh my God. Horrible, disgusting piece of crap guy.
Like a lunatic terrorist
Totally.
Is what he is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. I hate talking about those stories, but we always have to, as you
know. We totally do. You guys, you have your coffee?
I do. I'm so happy not to have hotel coffee. Back to Blackout.
Back to Blackout. I have my chocolate. And I am obsessed with the chocolate coffee.
It's so good.
And I used to never be a flavored coffee person, and now I'm like obsessed with this chocolate coffee. So you guys can start your morning with Blackout Coffee too. Visit blackoutcoffee.com/chicks. Use code chicks. Get 20% off your first order. Do it. Make sure that you do it. Also, you can check out our socials. Do that too. www.chicksontheright.com/links. Mock does our Twitter. Links. I do our Instagram. And then there's all sorts of other things you can check out too. You can also find out how you can join insiders and locals there as well. There are links there. And you should do that, because there's all sorts of things in our insiders. Plus, everybody there is so amazing. Our insiders, our locals groups, really, really great people. Those are your people. You should definitely check that out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this podcast. Please do that. Just click the button, tell a friend, because that is really the best way that you can support us. That and supporting our sponsors. Those are the two best ways you can support us. So please do that. Thank you.
Yes, please do it. You guys remember when Trump hosted Zelensky in the Oval, and it was like the most awkward cringe moments ever. Like he totally put Zelensky in his place, and it was just kind of amazing. Well, it happened again. Not with Zelensky, but with the president of South Africa, Ramaphosa. I'm not sure I'm saying his name right.
It's Ramaphosa, yeah. Cyril is his first name.
Cyril. So Trump decided to sort of, what the mainstream media is loving this word. They're all, and these are the leftist prescribed talking points. Make sure to call it an ambush.
Ambush. It's everywhere.
Sure say Trump ambushed the president of South Africa with a montage video of all these different, fringe parliament leaders in South Africa, basically saying, kill white farmers. Right. Mm-hmm. And so he showed that and did not, Cyril did not expect it. Let's just say that. So here is Trump kind of teeing it up. And so this is how he brought up the subject like this.
We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories. And is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to. Yeah, sure. Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you.
So then they're sitting there having to watch that for over 3 minutes. He and the rest of his South African delegation were sitting there and watching it. And then that's when he decided to, offer some excuses. And here is what he said.
What you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
So, got a little contentious. And then there were like questions from the press, which made Trump absolutely rage, which usually the mainstream media makes him rage. And he called out the fake news with regard to this story.
If the news wasn't fake, like NBC, which is fake news, totally one of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But if they weren't fake news like this jerk that we have here, if we had real reporters, they'd be covering it. But the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that.
God, this is the Trump that I love. It really is. I mean, some people are really uncomfortable with this. I'm sorry, but I like confrontation, so I'm okay with it. I know some people don't like it, but I am like, all right, this is cool. The giant balls on this man.
Right.
It's just something that I mean, I voted for this, you know, I voted for somebody who would go in there like a wrecking ball. He's doing it. He's just doing it. You know, he's saying the things. He's saying the things that we all are thinking. He says it. I appreciate that. He's doing it. This is the way you create change. Like any other, there's nobody else that would do this. Every other jackhole politician would go in there and just be like, I'm being diplomatic. I'm just going to go in there and just act like everything's great when everything's not great. And so he says the things, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. Well, and he wasn't done with just the montage. That was one part. And clearly Ramaphosa wanted to talk about trade deals and like things that were not quite as controversial. And he tried, but Trump was not having it. So like right in the midst of him going, yeah, you know, it's really important that we talk out these issues. But, you know, there's another thing that we want to talk about, and that's trade. And Trump was like, here's a stack of papers that shows all the people that you all have murdered. And it was like amazing.
Nelson Mandela, that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down around a table and talk about them.
Well, there are problems.
And this is precisely what we would also like to talk about, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States,
those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. What we're doing.
They're not, I mean, not concerns as much as they are dead people.
Right.
You know,
so if you could just look through this stack.
Maybe just recognize that would be great. Right.
And then he just doubled down.
Taking people's land away
we have not.
From them. And those people in many cases are being executed. They're being executed. And they happen to be white, and most of them happen to be farmers. And that's a tough situation. I don't know how you explain that. How do you explain that? They're taking people's land away, and in many cases, those people are being executed. And in many cases, it's not the government that's doing it. It's people that kill them and then take their land, and nothing happens to them. But we have thousands of people that want to come into our country. They're also going to Australia in a smaller number. But we have thousands of people that want to come into our country, and they're white farmers, and they feel that they're going to die.
Did you get the, I don't know if you got the clip of, or even we have a picture of the fact that he brought like 2 white golfers with him. Did you get that?
No.
He brought, the president brought 2 white golfers, Ernie Els, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Retief Goosen, to the meeting. So he could be like, look, I'm friends with white people. You know what I mean? It's like, what is that?
Oh my God.
Right. This is the thing. It's like racism is racism is racism. You know what I mean?
Yikes.
It didn't help, dude. Didn't help.
That's a big yikes.
Right.
Peter Doocy commented on just sort of the tone and tenor of that entire meeting with the South African president. And we're going to show you that clip in just a second. But first, I know that you are jumping out of your seat, dying to tell everyone about dose.
Oh my God, you guys, I love this stuff. I had some this morning. I take it every single morning. I love it. It tastes amazing. I had like some labs done a couple months ago where my liver enzymes they were elevated, and I got all freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Because I have some autoimmune stuff. And then I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I started taking this stuff. I think that they just go up and down, my enzymes, but this stuff is amazing. And then the last time I had my labs done, they were back to normal. It's yummy. It helps you, like, I guess I just like make sure that your liver is nice and being filtered and clean and all that kind of stuff. And you're getting all the gunk out. This is how I feel about it, but it just boosts your liver health. So you can save 30% off your first month. There's a subscription, dosedaily.co.com/chicks, entering C at checkout. It's just really, when you get older, you start thinking about stuff like your liver and kidneys. I'd never even thought about my liver and kidneys until I got into my 50s, but you should maybe think about that.
It's true.
It's
you got to
really
think
good.
about all parts of your body being healthy, all of it.
Yeah. So
dosedaily.co/chicks.
.co. Yeah. It's
.co.
really good.
All right, so here's Peter Doocy summarizing how that meeting went.
It's worth pointing out that is definitely the most awkward Oval Office meeting since Zelensky was here. It ended a little bit better because I can see the vehicle. It is not leaving. The South African delegation is not leaving early. They will be sticking around for lunch. But really, when you watch that, it seems like the Trump foreign policy doctrine is a lot like the old slogan for the MTV show The Real World, where people stop being polite and start getting real. And that's what we just saw from President Trump.
I love that so much. It's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just that was something. And that, I know the people on the left are like, oh my God, he just humiliated another world leader and this is awful. No,
he came out of the bushes and ambushed him.
Right.
He didn't do that at all. He was just being honest. And like somebody said here, he's always transparent. So he didn't do that behind closed doors. He did it in front of all of us so we could see what was happening. And I appreciate that.
Same. Absolute same. So yesterday? Yeah, I think yesterday when
yesterday. Yeah.
I know. But like I was trying to figure out, did this happen yesterday or did it happen the day before? I think it happened yesterday that Trump and Mike Johnson were kind of like going around to the Capitol, or did that happen the day before?
The day before.
Okay.
Yeah, they were.
So, and they knew that Thomas Massie is always one of the holdouts, right? He's always,
but he's got a beard now. Trump. He's bearded, so
that's different.
It makes it different, right?
And Trump is always talking about primarying him and making it difficult for him to get reelected in Kentucky. He will always get reelected in Kentucky.
Always. Even Chad said that. He's like from that area. He's always going to get, even though he'll go against Trump, he'll always get reelected. I totally agree. People like him.
So he's got a little bit of an MO, and that is whenever Trump tells reporters or says out loud that Thomas Massie should be voted out, naturally Thomas Massie gets lots of donations and likes to brag about it. So he immediately tweeted out an article that said Trump saying that he should be voted out. And he said, thank you for donating over $23,000 in 24 hours. Hundreds of you responded almost instantly with financial support for my reelection. Speaking truth to power has gotten me in hot water here in the swamp. If you didn't get a chance yet, please chip in. And then he shared the link. And I thought, well, Thomas Massie is as conservative as they come. The problem, of course, with him doing this kind of grandstanding, is what Trump calls it, is that, so what is his plan? Like, how would he like us to proceed? And he never does that. He never provides
a solution. That's the thing. A lot of these guys do not. There's a lot of them on that list. Like, the Chip Roys, all those guys. They're like, give us a solution. It's like I said yesterday, when you're in corporate America and they're just bitching all the time. I used to hate those people. Okay, then give me a solution. Don't just bitch, And they're not doing that. So do it.
Yeah.
Put up or shut up.
And Joe Concha was sick and tired of this nonsense. And he tweeted, the Massie playbook: oppose everything, never offer any real solution based in reality, and brag about your fundraising afterward. If anyone still doesn't get it, this is yet another example of the ultimate grift.
I kind of agree with that. I do. Unless he comes up with something that is a viable solution. Let's hear it.
That's the thing. That is the thing.
You do the math then. Go ahead and do the math. Let's see it. Yeah.
So, but anyway, obviously, as we said in the opening of the show, the House has passed the big, beautiful bill, and now we await the Senate to see what they do. I know we talked about, I think it was like late last week, about the whole James Comey, the 8647 with the seashells and all of that whole hullabaloo.
I didn't know what it meant.
I know. I am only the FBI director. What do you expect? How can I know that?
You know, right?
So, of course, he is now on his book tour, which seems to be the real reason that he wanted to have all this attention drawn to himself.
All PR is good PR, right?
Jesse Waters sent his lackey to go ambush him at one of his book signings. And here is what that looked like.
I love it.
Yeah. Why are you on an 86 Trump?
Oh, my God.
All right. Director? I'm not taking questions like that now. But why would you just sign the book? Why would you post that?
Oh, my God. How uncomfortable.
I
Director
know.
Comey, how was your interview with the Secret Service?
You want the book signed, really?
Absolutely.
Okay, you got it, bud.
Can you sign my seashell too?
Oh my God, I love
That you're
it.
going to. You
I
find the
love it.
seashell, 8647. This is a politically charged speech, Director.
Be well.
He's like, be well, be well.
Oh, my God.
God,
You know what? Side note, but that guy, I don't know his name, the Waters guy. He looks like our Spencer. Like,
he does look a little bit like Spencer.
Yeah, like take Spencer, and then you remember Jason Matera, and like you fuse them into one person.
You're
That's
very
him.
good at fusing. Yeah, he looks like our Spencer is the guy who does thank you, come again. He's the one that does
Hello,
that.
beautiful
Hello,
people.
beautiful people.
He's gonna text us and be like, "I do not look like that guy."
Totally is. We're gonna get it right after the show.
I know you and Chad yesterday talked about Nancy Mace and her big decision to expose her boobies to everybody.
Her boobs, yeah.
And how disappointed Chad was that he didn't actually see the boobs, because I know people were pretty excited.
He looked for the boobs. This is the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of men looked for the boobs, and then they didn't actually get to see the boobs. Right.
And I can see where that would be disappointing.
Yeah.
Here is the thing. So I read a little bit more about this morning, and it turns out, she's saying that Patrick Bryant like had secret, non-permissible, non-consensual photographs of her naked in their shared house or whatever, because they were engaged at a time. And then she showed, this was the picture that she showed to the hearing, like when she was doing the committee hearing. This is I don't even see a person in this picture. Even though it's circled in yellow, I'm still like, I don't see a person.
Wait, I'm confused. What is that? What is it?
She's saying that is her naked body, that she is in that photograph naked. And I'm like,
wait, it's circled in yellow?
Stormtrooper. Yeah. I mean, I don't even see a person. So this is the photo. What I saw being pointed out is that this isn't even a photo. It is security camera footage. You know what I mean? It's like it's like what you would see on a Ring camera. It's not like he took a photo. This is just like it was caught in their living room, and she's
so confused. I'm so confused, Mock. I don't understand what's happening here. I really do. I need somebody to explain again what's happening. So this is a picture of her sitting at a computer with her in the background. I don't understand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So no. So the black and white, okay,
right.
Just the black and white is the photo that she shared at a committee hearing. She's showing it behind her. She's wearing pink at the committee hearing. All right. So she's just showing the picture behind her.
All right. You can't see anything. It looks
you
like
can't see anything.
It looks like something you'd see on one of those paranormal shows. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a vision of something that somebody saw in their living room. It's like that's what it does look a little bit like a stormtrooper ghost.
It's so weird. Like I tried to see a person. I maybe see like a leg. I don't know. I just don't really see anything.
I don't see anything at all. I would, if you wouldn't have pointed, if there is no circle there, I wouldn't even see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where in the photo to look. I mean, I would be
No.
absolutely clueless.
I'd be like, that's a nice painting on the wall. Like, what is that? Like, is it
Right. And
flowers?
so did he take pictures of her without her consent? Probably. And he obviously kept this footage, which is weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not denying or trying to, to minimize what she is saying happened to her at all.
No.
But now there is a former advisor of hers who is saying under oath that she used those images that were taken from Patrick's phone to try to basically leverage a way of getting full ownership of two homes that they share, like a beach house that's worth $3-something million. And so there's now some guy under oath who's saying she asked this guy, hey, go show these photos to Patrick so that he knows I have them and then I know about them. And then he'll be forced to give me like most of the value of these homes. And so he's saying that under oath, which doesn't disprove what she's saying. I mean, it's if anything, it proves that there were photos, right?
Right.
But her motivations for sharing the photos are now under question. And so that is a thing that is
okay.
now
A couple things happening. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, just to any young women out there, one, if you're going to buy property, just wait until you're married to do that. That's just one thing. That's just a pro tip, And then, and the second thing is, if you want to get back at your boyfriend, there are passive aggressive ways to do that.
Right.
Call us. You don't have to do this. We can let you know other ways to do it on the down low. On the down low, and you don't have to do this. Just saying, right? Am I wrong?
Gosh.
Am I wrong, Mom?
No,
am I wrong?
You are not. You are not
Okay.
wrong.
I'm just
you
saying.
are not wrong.
Right.
You guys, if you have not taken advantage of the Memorial Day sale with Brickhouse Nutrition, we have talked about Field of Greens to you for a long, long time because it's one of our longest, most favorite sponsors. Brickhouse Nutrition is the maker of Field of Greens, and they're having a big fat Memorial Day sale right now. You can get Field of Greens, you can get lean, you can get everything on their website for 25% off right now at brickhousenutrition.com. The code right now is Memorial25. So make a note of it. If you have not tried Field of Greens,
you really
this
should.
is when you should. It is packed, I say, with fruits and veggies. These are hand-picked fruits and veggies picked out by doctors to support your heart, liver, kidneys, metabolism, and immune system. And they say that when you make it a part of your regular, like everyday, day-to-day routine, you're going to see a difference in your labs when you go to the doctor. You will actually see improved results or your money back. So it's a great time to try it. Again, the website is brickhousenutrition.com and the code right now is Memorial25.
It's also a good way to get your water in, and it tastes good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fruity beverage. Who doesn't love a
right?
fruity beverage?
Who
Hello.
doesn't? Exactly.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that the big, beautiful bill may have been able to eke out a win and get passed today is because Gerry Connolly passed away. And this is just a fun, not so fun fact. When a congressman dies in office, the family gets a bonus tax-free $170,000.
Why?
It's a death gratuity.
Who voted on that? Meanwhile, we get taxed when our family members die. So I'm sorry, but am I supposed to like be happy about this? I think this is bullshit. I think this is absolute bullshit. Why do they get a bonus? Like they didn't get enough,
and it's even a little bit
from us?
more because it's actually their 1 year salary, so it's like 174 or whatever their salary is right now.
I can't with this. I think this is absolute nonsense.
But it makes some sense about why they just won't freaking retire. They would rather die in office.
Right.
For real.
Of course they'd rather die in office. This is unbelievable, you guys.
Who
voted? Of course they voted for this because we can't stop them. It's an insurance policy.
I looked it up because I was like, there's no way this is real. Unfortunately, it's real. It's not even a law. It's a tradition that nobody wants to stop.
F their traditions. I
know, right?
Their traditions. Elon, are you paying attention? Are you watching our show? This is the kind of stuff that needs to stop. It needs to stop. Make this stop. God, they get way too many benefits.
I know.
This is where we're spending our money, is this crap. Oh.
Sorry to make you mad.
Yeah, my blood
had to
pressure.
share
This is the stuff that drives me insane, you guys. Insane.
Yeah. Kim Kardashian, I know people are just dying and craving news
Oh my God.
about Kim Kardashian. She has graduated from law school.
What, like it's
It took her
hard?
6 years, but she was very excited yesterday. She had a backyard celebration to celebrate her graduation. And guess who was there to speak even? Van Jones. Here's a little bit of what he said.
I am trying to get emotional.
He's always emotional.
Thank you,
I
Kim.
know.
Thank you, Kim Kardashian. On behalf of Scott Budnick, on behalf of Brittany Barnett and other people here, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when you're working on criminal justice, you were not embraced by anybody.
I think he wants to, you know what? He wants to.
I think that would actually be a pretty hot couple. I mean, no,
a hot
you
couple?
know what I mean?
Really? You think so?
Yeah. I mean, she's beautiful. He's super hot. That's a hot couple.
But is he straight?
Oh, that's
I
a good
guess-
question. I thought
Yeah,
they dated. Didn't they used to date?
I don't know, but yeah,
Maybe I
what
just
is
made
he
that
wearing,
up.
Debbie? What
I
was
don't
he
know.
wearing? What,
I don't know. I saw
what's
that. So I was
that?
like, what, it's like a long vest. You know what I mean? Like what?
Somebody asked if it was a safety vest. I don't think that's keeping anybody safe. It's like that was not okay. None of that was okay.
Well,
Yeah.
and people should know before they get too excited about her graduating law school. She didn't attend a traditional law school in California.
Of course
You can
not.
become a lawyer by completing a 4-year law office study program, also known as reading the law, because you just
Okay.
read instead of actually going to school. Which, if you
Okay.
think about it, it would be very hard for her to go to traditional school. You know what I mean? Because of who she is as a
She
person.
could do it online. She could have done that online.
That's essentially what she did. She just read everything instead of actually taking classes, but she hasn't passed the bar. She can't practice law. It's just that she's graduated from the 4-year program in 6 years.
So she's as much of a lawyer as Katy Perry is an astronaut. Is that what we're saying? That's what we're
I
saying.
mean,
Yeah, that's what you're saying. But let's have a celebration. Woo!
she
I
might
like
be a
that.
little more of a lawyer than Katie is an astronaut. I mean,
Okay.
a little
Maybe
bit,
like a tiny bit more.
little bit more, little bit more. She studied harder, I think.
I studied harder, you guys. I studied so much harder.
Letitia James, as you know, there are pending charges. Like there's an investigation going into this whole mortgage fraud that she's being accused of. And now she's got herself an excuse. Before she was just saying these are baseless allegations. And now she is saying there's been a mix up, you guys. And here she is to explain the mix up.
As you know, we filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump and his family. We secured $454 million judgment against him, which is on appeal. The case is on appeal. I have no idea when that case will be decided. This investigation into me is nothing more than retribution. It's baseless. It has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia, but prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be. And in the mortgage application, I indicated that I would not live in Virginia and I was not a resident. They just took the power of attorney and they're using that as a basis for enforcement for their investigation, when in reality, the power of attorney was never used to determine my eligibility for a mortgage for my niece for a home in the state of Virginia. My niece who has children, and because I am a good aunt, I wanted her to have a home.
Wait, so how can you screw that up?
Yeah, you're an attorney, Letitia James.
Right.
If you give power of attorney to somebody, you might want to double check that they're doing what you want them to do.
Right. I feel like that is a big screw up and nobody's above the law. So
And as I understand it, even if it's just like clerical nonsense, it's worth prosecuting, as we saw with her prosecution of Donald Trump. So it's
Totally.
good for the goose, Letitia. Big Tish.
It's good for the big old gander.
Good for the big old gander. It's interesting the way that the media tells these stories. So if you'll notice, Alina Habba, according to Politico, targeted Democrats when she became New Jersey's top prosecutor, and now she's following through. But when it was talking about Letitia James is taking on Donald Trump. She's taking him on, not targeting him. It's totally different. Don't you see?
Yeah, totally. Somebody asked if Letitia James went to the same college that Kim Kardashian went to.
It's entirely possible.
Really great question. Yeah, the Timu College, the Timu Law School. Yeah.
Right. Let's have a little flashback, little trip down memory lane, if we would,
Let's do it.
with Letitia, because she wants you to believe that she never had a personal vendetta against Donald Trump.
Right.
Ever, never, never. That's just flat not true, you guys. Roll the tape. Roll it.
Roll it.
The President of the United States has complained that I'm engaging in some sort of political witch hunt, that I've got some personal vendetta against him, that I campaiged against him. That is not true. This illegitimate president who sits in the White House.
That president, because he's not my president, he's an illegitimate president. His days are numbered. His days are numbered.
Okay.
We've got to get ready to mobilize, and we've got to get ready to agitate and irritate until victory is won, but more importantly, until Trump is defeated. We will all rise up and resist this man, and ultimately we'll bring him down. This illegitimate president, I'm going to give you the same level of respect that you gave to President Obama, and that is absolutely no respect at all. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! And the days of Donald Trump are numbered. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
Oh, okay. All right.
That is not true.
Well, I mean, she seems sane. There's no personal vendetta there. Oh, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
Oh, Big Tish.
Yeah.
She's
God bless her.
God bless her. It looks as though she has been feasting on some Omaha Steaks.
She has definitely had some carbs.
And you guys, I realize Memorial Day weekend is this weekend, and maybe you're a little late on the uptick. Maybe you haven't planned well for your big cookout. Maybe you haven't gotten the delicious fillets that are bacon wrapped, or the amazing sides, or the fantastic desserts that omahasteaks.com has. But it's never too late to grill out. And it's not too late to take advantage of the Memorial Day pricing for your next barbecue. You can still get Memorial Day pricing in time for Memorial Day. You may not get your food in time, but you'll have it for your next grill out.
True.
So check it out, because right now, 50% off site-wide. Literally everything on the website, 50% off. And when you use code CHICKS at checkout, extra aside and on top of the 50% off. What? I don't know what else to say.
I know, right? What are you going to do? What do you
I mean, it's omahasteaks.com. Use code CHICKS.
Do it.
If you don't, I don't even know. I don't even know what's wrong with
your segues. My segues suck, you guys. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't even have a segue.
Your segues are great. Yeah. You always
I feel like I've been segue-less today. I just have been like, hey, talk about jokes.
You froze for a little. You froze for like half a second. But
I did?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's okay. But we still got the gist. Buy some steak, you guys.
That's the main gist.
That's the gist. That's right.
Let's talk about some amazing people that are in Trump's cabinet. And we like to highlight. I know you guys talked about Marco Rubio yesterday, had some great clips of Rubio. He was back on the Hill yesterday, even after your show. And it was amazing. Like, he's just so good.
I love this Marco Rubio. I am loving it. And you know what? When I saw Trump yesterday busting the balls of the South African president, I thought, who else could do this? Nobody else could do it. And I thought, you know what? I think Marco Rubio, I'm sorry, there's a gnat in here. I thought Marco Rubio may
he could do it.
He's like the only one next in line that I think could do this.
I think JD could do it too. I think both of them could.
Possibly, yes. But I mean, like, to think that there are other people in our party that would actually do this, but Trump obviously is the one who paved the way.
And they're seeing him. They're watching how the master works,
Hell
right?
yeah,
Like,
they are.
They are seeing it in action. And
Mm-hmm.
so JD was just in an interview talking about immigration and the frustration that the Trump administration is facing with all of this judicial nonsense and like the intervening. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. And it goes against what the voters wanted. Here he is to say it a lot better than I just did.
Cannot have a country where the American people keep on electing immigration enforcement and the courts tell the American people they're not allowed to have what they voted for. And that's where we are right now. We're going to keep working it through the immigration court process, through the Supreme Court as much as possible. And look, success to me is not so much a number, though obviously I'd love to see the gross majority of the illegal immigrants who came in under Biden deported. That actually is a secondary metric of success. Success to me is that we have established a set of rules and principles that the courts are comfortable with and that we have the infrastructure to do that allows us to deport large numbers of illegal aliens when large numbers of illegal aliens come into the country. That to me is real success.
Okay, and I hear him on that, but I don't give a crap about their comfort. I don't. It's not, I don't care that they're comfortable or not. They just need to follow the laws that are in place. And I don't think that these courts are doing that. These courts are defying laws that are already in place, which is disturbing to me. So that needs to change.
And I mean, I don't know. He just has this way of saying the things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This cabinet, man, it's a great
Isn't
cabinet.
it? I know.
Yes.
The whole administration. Fantastic. Chef's kiss. Yeah.
Really. I mean, even Lee Zeldin, who doesn't get mentioned a lot, but he was also in a hearing yesterday and was going back and forth with several people, one of which was Sheldon Whitehouse. And he let Sheldon have it. Sheldon's trying to get into the weeds about how did he really, before he got rid of all of these contracts, did he really look individually at every single one? Did he look at them before making decisions to get them axed? And Lee Zeldin was like, I have a team of people and yes, we reviewed all of these contracts and found that they were completely idiotic. Do you want me to tell you about them? And of course, they didn't want to hear it. And then that ended up in a big shouting match, which looked a little bit like this.
Dollars just because you insist on EPA lighting taxpayer dollars on fire. The American taxpayers, they put President Trump in office because of people like you. Yes. They have Republicans in charge of the House and Senate because of people like you. Because you don't care about 99% of this story. You don't want me to go through the list of all the evidence of waste and abuse.
No, what I want you to do
in conflicts of interest.
What I want you to do,
unqualified recipients. You don't care about
what I want you to do is explain why the Department of Justice lawyers representing EPA in court under a duty of candor have said that everything you've just said isn't true. That's what I want. Get me that answer.
I'm here before this committee.
I've exceeded my time. I'll let the chairman take back the gavel.
And they won't let him answer. This is their MO. This is how they operate.
You could see though, and that dude, Whitehouse, you could see like on his face that he's scared. You know, like he's very, he was just his demeanor, the demeanor of him. He's just so freaked out. And Zeldin is not.
You have to know they're on the wrong side.
They're on the wrong
all
side.
Of this stuff.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you could tell by his demeanor that I think he does know that. I think he does, and he's trying so hard to figure out a way to rationalize him being on the wrong side. A lot of them are doing that now. It's weird. It's like they're digging their heels in. It's like, you don't want to die on this hill, man. You don't want to. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? Yeah.
Well, and Marco fighting the same battles. I mean, it's like the Democrats are just like they defend the worst illegals, you know, like Abrego Garcia. They also want to defend the worst spending, the worst waste of our money. They want to defend it. And so Marco was asked about the cancellation of USAID contracts. And here is how that went.
Yes, we canceled a bunch of contracts in USAID. Some were stupid and outrageous. Others didn't serve the national interest, and others we kept. And we are folding it under the Department of State. And you know why? Because we want it to be part of the toolbox of foreign policy, not a standalone. It is not charity. Foreign aid is not charity. It is designed to further the national interest of the United States.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's gotten to the point where it's just ridiculous. The charity part of that, it's just gotten to be insane.
Or that that he has to say that out loud is crazy. I mean,
yeah, well, they don't give a crap about our money. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about how hard we work and our money. They just keep spending it. We're literally an ATM to these people.
Absolutely. That's
an open
absolutely
ATM.
Right. Representative Keating also went after Marco in the stupidest way, demanding that he answer yes or no. Is Putin a war criminal? In the midst of Trump trying to end the Russia-Ukraine war, he wants to instigate an insult fest with our government and Putin. I mean, it's so masochistic on the part of Democrats. They want to hurt America and what the Trump administration is trying to do. It's incredible. And here is Marco Rubio's response to that.
Person we're negotiating with, Vladimir Putin, is he a war criminal?
Well, I think you can look at instances that have happened there and certainly characterize them as war crimes, but our intent is to end the war.
Is he a war criminal?
We can't end the war without talking to Mr. Putin.
That's pretty simple. Is he a war criminal?
Well, that's
this man we're negotiating with, Vladimir Putin. Is he a war criminal? That's not tough.
But what? I'm trying to answer your question by telling you that we're trying to end the war here.
Go ahead.
No, it's not a simple answer.
You are equivocating, sir. Just answer the question.
I'm answering your question, and the answer is that war crimes have been committed, no doubt. And who's responsible for that? There will be time and place for that accountability. But right now, the job is to end the war.
So you won't answer the question.
If we don't end the war, people are going to get
reclaiming my time, sir. Let me go on.
My God, how counterproductive is that guy? Like, shut up.
Oh my God.
What a toddler he is. And it's mean to toddlers. It's so entirely counterproductive. Like, you have no idea how this works. Even I know, but you don't do that. I'm just you know what I mean? I'm just a chick on the right out here. Like, you don't do that. God, how are these people in government? How did they get there?
I forgot to mention that that Steve said earlier, Daisy, you should get a gnat.
Yesterday, we were talking about studies on lesbian squirrels, and he was like, Daisy, you should get a lesbian squirrel. Like, how do I know if they're lesbian? Do they drive a Subaru? What? They live in Portland.
I cannot take it, you guys.
It's every day, Steve.
I want to share really quickly before we move on, because we've got more Marco and more cabinet members that we need to highlight. But our good pal Wanda, she has ordered from fastgrowingtrees.com. And you guys, I have to show her stuff because it's beautiful. Yeah. So right now, before I show you what she got, right now at fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks, you can get 50% off certain plants at Fast Growing Trees, because now is the time that you want to be planting things, plus an extra 15% off of your first purchase when you use code CHICKS at fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks. Here's what she said. She said, absolutely loving our fast growing trees. Butterfly bush, bottle brush, and azaleas. Can't wait for the hot pink azaleas and deep red bottle brush to bloom. And so here is some pictures of what the stuff that she planted looks like in her yard. I don't know why it looks so small, but I think that's one of the azaleas. And then look at those purple flowers.
Yeah, those are really
pretty. I mean,
look at all the stuff that she's
looking
planting.
So good, you
and
guys.
It's like all gonna flower.
Oh, I mean, it's going to be absolutely beautiful.
So
it's
more stuff.
I know. I'm super excited that her stuff is so nice, and your stuff can be too. And by the way, it's not just outdoors. Maybe you want to decorate the inside of your house and have some plants. You can get stuff there at fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks. They've got over 2 million happy customers. They're the largest online nursery. They are fantastic. They make everything so easy, even for people like us who do not have green thumbs. fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks. Use code CHICKS. Do it. Back to Rubio. He also got into a little bit of a spat with Jayapal about student visas. And he had to remind her, this idiot, that student visas are not an entitlement. They are not. They are something that we give out of the goodness of our hearts.
Right.
And we can take them away just like we give them out She's too stupid to understand it, but here he is giving it a go.
In the United States on a student visa, no one's entitled to a student visa.
So you revoked her student visa based on an op-ed, which trumps the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution.
Someone's coming up here to stir up problems on our campus. We're going to revoke their visa.
She didn't do any of that. She wrote an op-ed.
Well,
she wrote an op-ed, and I'm talking to you about her particular case.
Claims and your claims. Those are not the facts.
You reclaiming my time. You revoked her student visa because she wrote an op-ed.
And
Would you revoke?
We're going to do more. We will revoke the visa of anyone who's in this country as a guest.
Are you going to revoke the visa of somebody who made that?
I mean, the case. I'll look at it. I'm looking to get crazy people out of our country.
Actually, it's not just about revoking. You actually, Secretary Rubio, excuse me, reclaiming my time. If these are legitimate law enforcement agents carrying out proper arrest, why are they hiding their identities?
Because then radical crazies will try to hurt them.
Yeah. Kind of like what we saw yesterday. Like that.
I mean,
yeah.
She's so dumb. Why do they always fight for the people that are horrible? Why?
I continue to do it though. I mean, the Democrat Party is imploding. It's just absolutely in shambles. It
really is.
If you identify with that shit trash party, I can't help you. I can't.
Yeah,
you're right. They are literally dying on the hill of that, of terrorists. Like okay. Have fun with that. Have fun.
RFK, another great pick by Donald Trump. He had a bit of a spat with, I think it's Patty Murray, in a hearing. And he basically, because she's on the committee, like a Health and Human Services committee, and has been for like 3 decades. And he basically was like, what have you done for health lately? And it was awesome.
I want to point out that in 2021, at the beginning of his administration, President Biden submitted his budget on May. You know what? You made an accusation of me, and I'm going to answer it.
Okay, I appreciate
On May 28th, he submitted his budget. So our budget. We're a new administration.
Okay, you can.
And I also want to point out.
I have just 2 minutes left. I asked you a specific.
I want to point out something, Senator. You presided here, I think, for 32 years. You presided over the destruction of the health of the American people.
Well,
our people are now the sickest people in the world.
Seriously,
because you have not done your job.
Seriously.
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 What have you done about it? What have you done about the epidemic of chronic disease?
Mr. Secretary,
what have you done about the epidemic of chronic disease?
Yeah, what have you done, Murray?
What have you done for us lately?
And she's like, that's her face.
She's like, seriously? Seriously.
Oh my God, how dare you question me? How dare you question me? And when I die, my family gets $170,000 as a check because that's me. These people are insufferable. They're insufferable.
You can't hate them hard enough. You just can't. You cannot. It's not possible. Elon Musk, of course, by now has sort of backed off of Doge and
which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
It is
I'm
unfortunate.
mad about it.
I mean, Doge still continues to do Doge things, but he's just not taking as active of a role. And he was in an interview recently where he was asked whether he would still be taking a financial role, whether he'd be making more similarly sized political contributions as he did in this last election. And here's what he said.
I wondered whether you have decided yet how much you're going to spend on the upcoming midterms. Is it you spent a lot more money on the last US election than you envisaged when you were speaking here 3 years ago. Are you going to continue to spend at that kind of level on future elections?
I think in terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
Is it because of blowback?
Well, if I see a reason to do political spending in the future, I will do it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He has done a lot. He's done a ton.
Oh my God. He did more than he did more than basically everybody. So
it's like he's done enough. I got to tell you though, I bet that at this point in his life, he's looking at our country and he's probably more right of center than he's ever been in his whole life.
Oh yeah,
just
without a doubt.
based on the way that he's been treated by leftists.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably, and just everything that's happened with his kid, everything that's happened to him, the way that the blowback, the way that his companies have been treated, just the demonization and everything. I guarantee you that guy has just moved further and further to the right, because he didn't start out that way.
Nope.
So,
And he's shown on his own X account, he's shown that cartoon which shows like people, like where the middle used to be. And that's kind of like, and how far left the middle, what used to be considered the middle, he would have probably considered himself the middle. How far left it has fallen because of current day Democrats. And now he's just by default more on the right. Because leftists they've gotten so freaking crazy.
They're out of control. They're just loony. They're just absolute loons. And so he's like, I am now so on the right.
Right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Y'all are whack jobs.
You're crazy. Yeah.
All right. I'm still super excited because we are going to get to the Megyn Kelly, Jake Tapper stuff. But before we even get to that, I'm going to get to what's his name? Alex Thompson. Is it Alex Thompson, the co-writer? Is it Alex? I think it's Alex. For some reason, it just escapes me. I think it's Alex Thompson and Jake Tapper, of course, co-wrote this book that came out Tuesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. And so they have been making the rounds, not just on Megyn Kelly's show, but like literally everywhere. And Alex Thompson appeared on Leland Vittert's show and talked about basically how the sources that they used to write this book told them that they themselves could not believe that the media bought what they were selling. Like, that's how pathetic the media was. And so for Alex Thompson to admit it, I guess, is something. Here is what he said.
It was interesting. I had one conversation with someone. This was after the election while we were reporting this book. This person said, listen, yes, we deserve blame for X, Y, Z. We were hiding him. This person also sort of got in my face and they said, listen, the media deserves some blame too. Like, we were sort of amazed at some of the stuff we were able to spin
and get away with
on. They in some ways,
it's like the bank robber complaining that the safe wasn't locked or something.
They're just like, you guys should not have believed us so easily. And
God,
yeah,
that is pathetic.
Yeah, there's a theme here, and I mean, I'll get to that, but there's a theme. Just keep going.
Oh yeah. So this next clip is where it's Jake Tapper on one of the shows. And this is where he actually gives conservative media a little bit of credit.
There were people reporting on what they saw.
Really?
The conservative media was, to their credit, all over this. Now, they didn't have insider information, but they were just making sense of all the clips and all of the weird moments and off-putting moments.
Jake. I swear. Thanks for giving us credit for having common sense.
Right. I mean, just pathetic.
I can't stand him, Mock. I can't.
Well, then you're going to love Megyn. I mean, I know you already loved Megyn Kelly's treatment of him because it was amazing.
It was.
He and Alex both went on Katie Couric's podcast, and she asked him about they were talking rather about how involved Hunter was in the administration, which is god-awful terrifying. And here is Jake's very candid comments about Hunter Biden.
Was the Hunter stuff?
I think it was considerable. I think Hunter was driving the decision making for the family in a way.
Oh my God.
He was almost like a chief of staff of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
It's bizarre because I think he is provably, demonstrably unethical, sleazy, and prone to horrible decisions.
Tell me how you really feel.
Well, I mean, I'm just look at the record.
What do you think,
after
Katie?
his brother died, he cheated on his wife with his brother's widow and then got her addicted to crack. That's just one thing I could say. I mean, I don't have a lot of personal regard for him, and just based on having nothing to do with, I barely have ever met him. I've met him like once or twice, but I knew Bo. Bo was a great, upstanding guy.
I knew him too. Really,
a real loss for the country too, not just for his family, for the country. But Hunter is not that, and the idea of letting him drive the family car, as it were, is just really, really questionable.
It wasn't the family car. It was America.
It was really the world.
Yeah.
You know? It was the free world.
And Katie's like, I mean, you're being kind of mean. He's a crackhead running America. Like, this is the biggest scandal ever. And she's just making light of it. I mean, but Bo, let's talk about Bo and how awesome he was. Bo's not here, Katie. Bo's not here. I can't. What is even happening? Am I the only person that thinks this is completely out of control? What's happening right now?
Oh, it's out of control. It is definitely out of control. And Tapper on multiple shows has been trying to explain that the reason, like, and this is an excuse to me, but because he won't just say they wanted power so badly that they were willing to do anything to get it. He's trying to blame it on their view that Trump was an existential threat. Here he is.
Because the whole conceit behind why this happened was because Joe Biden, his advisors, and to a large degree, the entire Democratic Party bought into the argument that Donald Trump posed an existential threat to the United States. Joe Biden was the only one who could defeat him. And therefore, anything that went after Joe Biden would help Donald Trump. That argument, when you convince yourself that the enemy, if you're a Democrat, the enemy is Donald Trump. If you convince yourself that the enemy is an existential threat, you can justify almost anything.
And he did. Jake also did.
Yeah, he totally did. And now he's trying to make money off of that. He's trying to make money off of people who what a grifting dickweed. I can't. I'm sorry. There's no other. I can't sugarcoat that, you guys. I'm sorry. Hide your kids, hide your wives. I can't. I'm trying to be nice. I try to give people grace. I try to, but I cannot give him grace. I just can't. And then him going on to Megyn Kelly's show, like, that just shows how completely stupid he is. I said that yesterday, because how did he not know that she is stronger and smarter and better than he is?
Oh, he knew. He absolutely knew. And he just wanted, I mean, he obviously wanted access to the audience.
Really? Okay.
And was more contrite on that show than he's been in a lot of other places, because he had to be. I mean, she absolutely laid into him. It was glorious. My God.
Yeah, she
so
just
glorious.
Spanked him 16 ways to Sunday. It was epic. But how did he not know that was going to happen?
Well, no, I'm saying he did know. In fact, he said multiple times during the show, I knew you were going to ask me about this, and I'm happy to talk about it. Like, he did everything he had to do to basically survive that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, and this is the theme, the biggest thing for me in all of this, what it shows is weakness. It shows weakness on his part. It shows him going on to Megyn Kelly, shows how weak he is as just a man. He's just a pathetic, weak excuse for a man. And then it shows how weak Democrats are, because we all knew what was going on, right? We knew because we know how to think critically, and we know how to dissect, look at like the world, and we have common sense. Okay. These people are weak. They are weak because they base everything on feels. It feels. I mean, that's what children do, you guys. This is what everything is about, feels, and they base every decision they make during the day on their feelings and not on reality. That's what adults do. We're adults. They are children. And that is all of this makes me think, okay, this is all, they are weak. They have no business running the country. Those people had no business doing what they were doing. They had no business being in the position that they were in. Weak, pathetic people.
Yeah. And I'm torn because, and actually Megyn said, and maybe this ended up being why this is why it ended up being good for Jake Tapper to have gone on her show. She ended up saying everyone should absolutely read this book. And I tend to agree with her only because there are going to be still people in denial about how much they were lied to. And so I hate to give him sales and I hate for him to get paid, but at the same time, everyone needs to know how bad this was. And if it takes his book to do it, to convince lefties because he's on their side, then I guess, okay.
If the lefties want to buy it, fine, but I am not giving 1 cent to that pathetic loser. I'm not doing it.
Someone needs to buy it for me so I don't have to feel bad about it.
I'm not doing it. I can read excerpts on Twitter. You know what I mean? On X, I can do that. But we already know. It's this Michelle. We already know.
But I'm saying all the people that continue, because there are still people who continue to deny how bad this was. And so if they read it, then that's probably a good thing.
I don't know if it's a good, I honestly don't know, because those are the people who are so weak and they're so far gone that I don't think that they're not helpable. I don't think they're helpable. I don't
know. I used to think Jake Tapper was unhelpable, but he's the one that like has finally come around to see what we all clearly saw.
Listen, the whole week, weakness does not personify who we are as people. That's why when I look at these people who are just now like, oh my God, I'm so surprised by all this. I want a divorce. Like these are the people I want a divorce from, because I'm like, how could you not see this? And now you want to capitalize? You want to make money off it? You want me to pay for a book on information that I already knew, that we've been talking about for 6 years? We've been talking about this. Screw you.
There's part of me that's like, why isn't it one of the zillions of reporters who knew this was happening and talked about it in real time? Why aren't they the ones getting the book deals?
Of course,
but at the same time, I'm like, they are talking to people that already know, where Jake Tapper being on the left is hopefully talking to his side, who they were the ones that were fooled. They're the ones that need to hear it. And so that's why I go back and forth. Like, I hate that he's making money. If anything, he should be donating every single cent that he makes. But at the same time, he's a good messenger for this because he is on that side. And so I don't know. That's why there's a part of me that wants to read it, but then I just get so mad about the fact that he's making money on it. It's so gross.
Out by all of it. Until he switches over to being a conservative. I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with this book. You can bug off, dude. Here's a big middle finger for you. It's gross.
And Morning Joe, he's one of the ones that I'm just like, how are you still? Because we've played that clip ad nauseum when he's just like, F you if you don't believe what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
But this is the best Biden
version.
So they showed, like Jake Tapper was, or one of them, Alex or Jake or both, were on Morning Joe yesterday, and they were talking about that clip. And even now, Morning Joe is like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to take from this. That's what he said. Check this out.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
So though.
So I said that this was Biden at his best.
Sure.
That's what I saw.
I don't doubt.
What other people saw. I was obviously wrong. So I'm not sure what my takeaway is here.
I'm not sure what the takeaway
He
is.
honestly said, I was wrong, but I don't know what my takeaway is. That you were wrong and that you're an idiot and that you need to quit talking. Just quit your job. Just quit it. Quit your job and never go out in public again, Joe. Just do that's the takeaway. Shut up. Take your wife too.
Mark Halperin interviewed Joe about this and tried laying into it. The excuses and the rationalizing are just amazing.
That do you say, well, it was misleading to say best Biden ever without caveating it and say, except on the days when he's not the best Biden ever.
Well, but I never saw those days personally.
Well, you did because you saw him address a dead congresswoman and you saw him in South Carolina.
A dead congresswoman, yeah.
Yeah, well, more than that. I mean, I can show you. I can show you the RNC clip reels. There were plenty of days in public when he was not the best Biden ever, and of course, shortly after,
he stumbled and bumbled around. Mark, I mean, he certainly did. Donald Trump did. Other politicians did.
Oh my God!
But it's actually the same case as a lot of times when I've gone in and talked to Donald Trump. I mean, put in the proper context, I'm just not going to freak out and melt down on one or two clips here or there. And again, he bumbled around and he stumbled around, but he has for quite some time.
I cannot believe he's trying to say, but Trump.
Yeah, there's no self-reflection. None. Oh my God. Yeah, this is the same person that will never understand why they lost the last election. He'll never be able to have any self-reflection about that. And so he's not helpable. This is the thing. Like, I know you want these people to read the book. He could read the whole book 80 times
Yeah.
And he'll still
that's
be
true.
like, but Trump, you guys, orange man, bad. Okay, whatever, Joe. He does look like Dilbert, doesn't he? It's like so disturbing. I cannot unsee that. He's like, he's a life version of Dilbert, and it's freaky. I know it is, isn't it?
I know we said the other day that the people that were really in charge, unfortunately, were like this group of staffers, which is just the most frightening prospect ever. And we had mentioned that Lindy Lee is the one that had been kind of talking about that and has been talking about it for some time. And I found that clip. I don't know if she was on Rubin or who this was, but this is what she said about who was actually in charge. And it turns out the book does confirm this.
How high up Anita Dunn was. She was basically part of the council of presidents. Dave, we didn't have a president in the
right.
We had a council of these unelected people that you've never even heard of. And they're Anita Dunn, Mike Donnellan, and Steve Ricchetti.
Whoops.
In the country. Most Americans, I would say maybe like 1%, if that, have heard of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
do you guys hear of them? You ever hear of them? Yeah.
And they were literally making all the decisions. I mean, that is.
But she's another one. She's another one of the grifters, though.
Yeah, totally. I know. Take what she says with all the grains of salt.
Yes.
But on that point, she pretty much nailed it. Of course, we have to have reaction to all of this from
Scott Jennings.
Scott.
It's coming. Here it is.
There are two clips. I'm just going to let the whole thing run because he was on fire.
You're arguing that Joe Biden was fine during his
I'm not
term.
arguing that he was fine. I'm arguing that
you keep pivoting back to Trump, who's
I'm sorry,
clearly fine. But I'm just asking you if you're arguing that something was not wrong with Joe Biden.
I'm so glad you asked that question because Joe Biden is no longer the president.
But he was, and that's the story.
But he
tonight.
was. No, actually, Donald. Stop. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish something. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. I would dearly love to see a cognitive test from him because as somebody who's lived in the New York media market for the last 40 years, I can tell you that the Donald Trump that I knew in the 80s is not the Donald Trump that I hear today.
So your answer to the cover-up is Trump.
My answer is...
Your answer to every question is Trump.
My answer is
the cover-up is the story tonight.
The president
That's
of the
story.
Yes, the cover-up is also the president of the United States, who happens to be Donald J. Trump today, is not... Yeah, you could laugh all you want.
I am definitely laughing.
You know why you're laughing?
Julie. Julie.
No, we're not laughing. You don't want to answer the question, Scott.
Yeah.
You're president.
What question?
Julie, we're going to leave it there. I'd love to see his cognitive test. I'd love to see his
sure
physical test.
Dr. Grasso.
This fake town hall was in order to film it so they could make it into campaign commercials. They filmed it in Delaware with supporters. But Joe Biden, at this point, this is the spring of 2024, Joe Biden's town hall, which was closed to press, was so bad that campaign officials determined that it was not usable for a campaign commercial. So they took 90 minutes, 2 hours out of the president's day. They filmed an entire town hall, and they determined that it was not usable. Now, some people say this was because Joe Biden was incoherent. He could not really articulate his thoughts in a pithy or even semi-normal way. Some people just said, like, the lighting was bad. That was sort of the 2 points of view. But the point is, it shows how what the campaign status was in the spring of 2024 when they were trying to deal with a candidate that wasn't a decline.
Wait, someone told you the lighting was bad?
That's one of the excuses.
You're saying that they spent millions of dollars to stage a town hall? Well, we didn't get the lighting right.
That was one of the excuses.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
and this
Can you even believe that crap? Where's Julie to weigh in on that? Where is she? Bring her back in.
Different panel.
She'll be like, it's Trump's fault. That's Trump's fault.
Right. And I think Trump has taken a cognitive test like a billion times and is constantly bragging about the results. So shut it, Julie.
Actually, I welcome that. Go ahead and give him a cognitive test.
Give him another one. He'll take all of them. He loves taking them.
He'll take every
he
test. He'll be
absolutely
like, here are my results. They're covered in gold. Take that, Julie.
And I know, I think it's good that this prostate cancer story has taken a back seat to this whole cover-up story. I think that that's appropriate. David Axelrod, you can try to say it needs to have a pause. No, we're not pausing. The cover-up is the story. But there is also still news coming out about that whole thing. In fact, just the other day, a Biden spokesperson said that President Biden's last known PSA was in 2014. I think you guys talked about this yesterday.
We did.
Nicole Sapphire said in 2019, they said he was being treated for benign prostatic hypertrophy. So they were just giving him medication and not monitoring his PSA.
Sounds like
she says that incredulously because it's absolute bullshit.
It is bullshit. Like he either has a really terrible doctor or there's obviously a cover up for all of this. Yeah.
Another cover up. They could not cover up any more stuff. My God.
Yeah. And the thing is, and these people are, and they're always saying what they're saying in the past couple of days have been like, you guys are so like, you're so awful to not concentrate on his cancer. We need to put all this other stuff on the back seat. These are the same people who didn't even clap or stand for a boy with cancer at the State of the Union or the address that President Trump made. It's like, pick a lane, people.
Don't pretend that you're all full of empathy right now.
Stop it.
Off of it. All right, let's get to the good stuff with Meghan. Because I highly recommend listening to the entire thing. You know, I guess overall, like he does all he can do to be contrite, to show humility, blah, blah, blah. But she will not let him get away with anything. And it is a thing of beauty. This first clip is basically her saying, everyone over on our side knew what was going on. How could you basically be this dumb? Here is that part.
Criticism has been that you're complaining about a cover-up about Joe Biden's mental acuity that failed, that right-wing pundits saw, the right wing in general saw, that independent media saw and reported on, and that was no mystery even to left-wing and so-called mainstream reporters who were not fooled but chose willful blindness instead of honest reporting, and that you were part of it. How do you respond?
It's a tough and fair question. They justified to themselves what they had done in terms of misrepresenting how the president was, not just to me and Alex and other reporters, but also just to each other and to the world and to Democrats and to the cabinet, et cetera, by saying that there was this existential threat of Donald Trump and only Joe Biden could beat Donald Trump, and that justified everything in their minds. After that existential threat was over, because the election was over and Donald Trump won, we found, Alex and myself, remarkably willing to talk to us either off the record or on background, or in some cases on the record.
So fine. So he says that, and she's just like, seriously? This is what, I mean, she's not going to be like, oh, okay, well then that's fine. Well, we'll just talk about something else. No, she keeps at it.
Ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs, that he was losing his train of thought regularly, that he was slurring, that he was incomprehensible, that he was getting lost on the White House lawn. You sat right across from him and you asked none of that, notwithstanding the fact that he had promised you he would be fully transparent about his health issues.
That's true. But I did ask him about his age and the fact that the American people had concluded that even though he said whenever anybody brought up the subject of his age, watch me. And I said, yes, they're watching you and they are concerned that you were too old for this job.
But you know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her. You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it.
That's correct. I didn't. And like I said, I feel humility about my coverage. I mean, it's not like I was asking him his favorite movie or his favorite color. We were talking about Putin. We were talking about other issues of national importance. But yeah, I mean, of course, I've said I look back at my coverage with humility, and I wish I did cover the issues of age and acuity, but I wish I had covered them much more. And I wish, I mean, of course, it's May 2025. Do I wish that in that 10, 15-minute interview I had with Biden in October 2022, that this had been the only subject? Because I had then
well, it wasn't
what I know
just that,
now.
though, Jake. It wasn't just that. I mean, you sat with him a couple of times in the course of his presidency, and these issues were not pressed. Well, there was at least that time, and then there was the time at the the and but separate and apart from that, you covered the Biden's presidency. No. Let me just finish my point. You covered the Biden presidency.
I had one
okay, right, and it was 13 days after the Jackie Walorski thing. But you covered the Biden presidency aggressively throughout the 4 years, and you didn't cover mental acuity hardly at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's what's really sad is that she's having to Megan-splain him on how to journalism. He's one of the top paid journalists in our country, and she's having to teach him how to journalism. What bull crap is that?
Right. Like, here's how you have a follow-up question, right, Jake.
Like, that's the thing. I can't believe we're watching this in real time. and I can't believe he is not just like going and hiding in his house for the rest of his life. Like, how embarrassing is that? But instead, he's making tons of money on a book.
He's going to make tons of money.
I'm just grossed out. I'm grossed out by him. I'm grossed out by liberals. I'm grossed out.
Well, and you guys remember, and we gave it a lot of coverage too, the Lara Trump, the way that he treated her and accused her of making fun of Joe Biden's stutter, which is a non-existent thing. Mm-hmm. That was the clip that Megan really wanted to grill him hard about. And she did. She showed it to him. It had to have been so uncomfortable for him to watch it again. But after she played it, she said, "You want to apologize?" And here's what he said.
Do you want to apologize to Lara Trump now?
I've already apologized to her. I called her months ago.
And what did she say?
I mean, I don't want to disclose the contents of a private conversation, but I thought the conversation went well. And she said, she has said this publicly, so I feel fine sharing it. She said that she would never mock anybody's stutter. But I mean, after we did the research for this book, and I realized how bad his acuity issues were, I called Lara Trump and I said, you were right.
She was totally right. That's the thing, because when I watched that clip, and I'm giving voice to what a lot of people watching the show are feeling, Jake, I feel angry because she was right. And not only did you not allow her to make her comments, but you seemed to try to humiliate her. You had a hostility toward the position, but she was totally right. And then you lectured her on how she was in no position to diagnose cognitive decline, which you guys do at length, including on page 4 of your book. You describe at length his cognitive decline, which is all she tried to do with you. But you had such a visceral reaction to her. And my feeling is that's because you didn't want to hear it.
No, I'm happy to talk about this. I didn't come here thinking that you weren't going to ask me about this. I'm happy to talk to you about it.
No, I know.
The first time I saw the coverage of Lara Trump's comments, which were interpreted as her mocking Joe Biden's stutter, was in January 2020. I read it in conservative media. I read it in the Daily Mail. And that's where I saw that her comments were being interpreted that way. After those comments were publicized, it got a lot of coverage, and Sully Sullenberger wrote an op-ed in the New York Times criticizing her about this. So that's the context for that, that I was following up on a story that had been out there months before. This is also in the context of October 2020, a very intense time. People on the Biden side are saying crazy things about Trump. People on the Trump side are saying crazy things about Biden, including Don Jr. suggesting that Joe Biden is a pedophile. So that is the larger context. But as I said, her comments have aged well. My comments have aged poorly. I own that. But as you know, Megan, because even though you look 30 years younger than me, we're roughly the same age, Joe Biden has been saying stupid things for decades. Okay.
I get what you're saying, but this minimizes it too, because it was more than saying stupid things. But I'm telling you, like over here in my ecosphere, we were covering all of these. It wasn't just falling down; it was getting lost. It was some of the stuff you report in your book. We knew, and we were reporting on, like the multi-jump cuts in the videos of him, where it was obvious he couldn't get through a 1-minute take. So they had to use those. It was clear to us that he was using teleprompter, and there was some reporting on that at the time, all of which the White House was denying. Now, with the current White House, I have some connections. With the Joe Biden White House, I had none, but you did. You did. And so while you've been in Washington 30 years, Jake, you guys, you and CNN have White House connections, but there was no effort, none, to get to the bottom of this. And now for you guys to write this book, like there was a cover up.
Oh my
God. Like there was a cover up and there was an attempted cover up. It could only ever work if you allowed it.
Right. And he denies that there was a cover up. You did it. You were one of the
Well,
people
he
who
denies
did
that
it.
he was part of it. He absolutely says there was a cover up.
He provided so much cover. And that
But
interview,
they lied to him. They weren't honest with him until after the election.
That interview was a microcosm for the cover that they provided. And Laura Trump was all of us. She was a representation of all of us. And when he tried to dehumanize her for that, when he tried to come after her and like put her down and make her feel like she was less than for saying those things, those are all the things that we felt and we saw. And he was putting all of us down. F him.
Well, this is when I think this is my favorite clip because she absolutely, I mean, at the end of this clip, she is like, oh, no, you don't. And it's glorious.
White House did not like me. Okay. I do not have great connections with the Biden White House.
Well, clearly you have a lot of sources. You say you talked to over 200 sources for this book. So you have some
election,
you could have called and worked.
No, that's the point, is that they were not being honest. That's
well, how did the Wall Street Journal get it in June of 2024? And Jake Tapper and CNN couldn't find sources for this story then before he dropped out?
Annie Linsky and Siobhan Hughes did an amazing job in their reporting, and they should be heralded, and I heralded them. I had them on my show right after the debate to talk about their great reporting. But Annie Linsky,
the debate, but you did not put them on when they published that story, which was before the debate.
Correct. I don't know what the booking situation was, but it wasn't because I didn't want them. I'm sure I said that day, let's book. I'm sure I said that day, let's book that. Did they?
Yeah, you put on a Democrat and you allowed the Democrat to rip on the report as a Rupert Murdoch sponsored hit piece.
No.
It's just
Megyn,
that's Megyn, what happened.
If we're going to do this, let's just stick to the facts here, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
When there is a damaging
Jake,
report.
That's what I've been doing all along.
I'm talking about what you just said.
Didn't miss the biggest story of the century when it comes to presidential politics, and one of us did.
Oh, damn. Don't lecture me, Jake Tapper. Yeah.
Don't tell me about facts.
Oh my
you
God.
Jerk.
How dare he on her show trying to peddle a book right now, try to lecture her on what? You guys.
I know.
I gotta bring it in. I'm sorry, Jesus. I gotta bring it in. I want to throat punch so many people, and this is when I gotta talk to God. You know what I mean? I try so hard, y'all. I try.
I know you do.
And then I try to have grace, but then the throat punching.
She's fantastic. So you've seen like the greatest throwdowns, right? I mean, because she did not let him off the hook on anything. She was phenomenal in the entire interview.
Yes.
And all he could do really was just be contrite. He had no other option. There was no other thing for him
except for try to question her on her facts. It's like,
right. And he quickly learned, I'm not going to do that again.
Good Lord.
There was a point where they were just kind of dishing about some of the additional stuff in the book, some of the stories that we may not have heard or may not have gotten the full context on. And one of those moments was, he moderated that disastrous debate. So, and apparently it was him and Dana Bash, and they can't communicate with each other or with the control room during the debate, except for they have these little iPads that they use to communicate. So there's a story that he told about what that was like and what they were saying to each other, which was just kind of juicy. Here it is.
Get to the text that you sent to your control room and the correspondence between you and Dana.
So we have iPads, because you can't communicate, obviously, talking to your control room during a debate. We have iPads where you can write on them. And I recommend it if you don't have one, by the way. It's fantastic. And I wrote, because I had no idea who was back there, so I tried to keep it clean. I wrote, holy smokes. Now, what I was thinking was, holy fuck. I mean, it was just shocking, but I kept it clean. Dana writes to me on a piece of paper,
he just lost the election. It was just, I mean, it is, I don't think this is hyperbole at all. The worst debate in the history of presidential debates going back to 1960. I just can't think of anything even remotely close to it.
And then you saw him immediately after, you write in the book, and he seemed like unaware that something extremely problematic had just occurred.
Well, it's just, first of all, Jill helps him down from the stage. It's like a one-step stage. Maybe it was a little distracting because there were weird lights or whatever, but that looked weird too. But they come over to the table. Trump is long gone. He's probably in the air at that point. And they come over, and they really didn't seem to have any idea that this had been as bad as it was.
Probably because they knew they were going to have a bunch of media, people covering them in the media, right? They were going to have all the cover, and they because up to that point they had all the cover, like you, Jake.
Yeah,
that comment at the beginning. You should totally get an iPad. I'd highly recommend it. Everybody has iPads, you dork. What was that? What was that comment?
I don't know.
He is so weird.
It was kind of weird. So in the same show, Megyn had Batya Ungar-Sargon like watching in the backstage, basically. And then she was the next guest after Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. And so she was there to immediately react. And she said, yeah, she was fantastic. And she talked about how the reason that this was all able to happen is because the media was such a non-functioning entity. Here she is.
That is most important to keep in mind is that none of this would have been possible if we had a functioning media that had respect for the American people. It is their utter contempt for anyone who doesn't vote for their chosen people that allowed this to happen. Because as you pointed out, Megyn, again and again, you had this story. You were showing the clips. Anybody listening to your program or any conservative media was exposed to this, so much so that even Democratic voters understood that he was too old. And it is their utter contempt for Republicans, for people who vote for Trump, for working class people, for the normies of this country who are looking at this, looking at the footage and saying, this is not okay.
And that is why they lost, and they still don't get it.
They still don't get it.
They don't understand.
And one thing that Batya said to Megyn, which I thought was a fantastic point, it's the only thing that maybe Megyn could have done better, is she said, now that we heard all that, the question should be, what are you going to do differently now, Jake Tapper? How are you going to change your behavior after learning everything that you've claimed to have learned? What are you going to do to change media and how bad you all were for this long? How are you going to fix it?
What he should do is just take all the ridiculous amount of money that he's going to make from this book and never, ever show his face again to the American public. That's what I hope he does, because you know he's going to make a shit ton of money, which makes me sick to my stomach. Just go away. I never want to see you again. Go away. That's what he should do.
I don't think that's.
He's not going to learn any lessons. None of these people learn any lessons. There is no self-reflection on that side.
But can you imagine like Megyn asking that question? I would have loved to have seen his answer to that. You know what I mean? Like, so how are you gonna not do this? How are you gonna not do your job this badly again from here on out?
I think it's a great question, but I think you are way more positive in what that answer would have been than I am.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you would have said.
I love that about
to get through
love
it.
that about
you know what I mean?
Right. I do love that about you, Mock. I love it about you. You're way more hopeful than I am when it comes to that, but I just don't have a lot of faith in what his answer would have been.
Well, and you're probably right. You shouldn't have faith, because just look at this tweet from Chuck Todd, who's part of the machine, part of the problem. Here's what he's saying to the folks shaming the Biden enablers. I get the instinct, but the folks on the right doing the victory lap are simultaneously behaving the same way or worse when it comes to Trump and his bizarre rant statements, policies that aren't working. I think he meant grift, etc. To those folks feeling good about their Biden takes, you comfortable with your Trump enabling? You really think it'll age well?
What's going poorly? What policies aren't working, dude? Because here's the difference: is he's doing it. It's not a cabal running the country. It's not a bunch of people that we didn't elect. We elected him
to do what he's doing,
and he's doing it. At least we've got that.
Transparently.
At least we've got that, you schmuck. I
God,
mean,
Chuck Todd is a jerk.
again, with the no self-reflection, these people cannot look in the mirror and understand what is happening. They have no idea. They are actually making a comparison between. There is no comparison because he didn't run the country. That's what is the huge scandal.
Yes, it is the biggest scandal ever.
It is comparing apples to watermelons. There is no comparison. You don't get it, Chuck Todd. And that's what makes you so stupid. I'm sorry about your stupidity. Good Lord.
All right. We got to get to some different, interesting, fun things. And this first clip is not a My Pillow talk, not your standard My Pillow talk, but it is an interesting state of the state, I guess. The state of dating right now. And we showed a couple of clips last week, I think, of some girl, like the one girl who was like, why are there no attractive guys? Like not being particularly attractive herself. Remember?
Right. And
so we had that.
I'm glad we're not dating now. Yeah.
Right. And so here is a woman who, I'm just going to say it. And I know people are going to be like, you're so mean. This woman is not an attractive woman. Okay. She's just objectively not attractive.
Okay.
And she's talking to some podcaster, I don't know who, about her minimum requirements when it comes to the men she dates and what they earn. And you are going to be blown away at what she is expecting for anyone she dates, the amount of money that she's expecting them to make. Listen.
Saying that you want to financially stable. Do you looking for certain numbers? Like
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
okay.
looking between 600,000 and 800,000. Obviously, more is good, but that's what I want to start with.
So 600 is your bare minimum, you said.
Well,
what?
Maybe 500.
Okay, we went down.
The cost of living in LA is so high. That,
it is,
and I really love to travel.
Okay, and you want to like a man to cover for this,
if he can, yeah. Because I bring feminine qualities. I can cook. I can.
Are you
give
sure
good
about
back
that?
Massages. I can listen well. So I think it's only fair.
So it's worth it. Yeah.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
What is happening?
She brings massages and she can listen. She has ears. So that's what so for that, she thinks she deserves $800,000 a year from a man. What is happening? What's happening?
This is why you're single, lady.
This is exactly why you're single. Oh my God.
I could not believe I was stunned when I saw that and I was like, oh my God.
I just God help her.
She needs to lower the standards just a smidge.
But Mark, I have ears.
Right. And I can squeeze your back.
So for like 2 seconds. So that equates to $800,000 a year. I want to travel. I want to.
LA's super expensive, you guys. What's she supposed to do?
That she has survived in LA with all those women who are like, they look like tigers. It's what a contrast, you know?
Wow. So also cute moment. Donald Trump had the Florida Gators in, I guess they won the like championship of
Go Gator.
Something. What was it? Is it basketball? I'm assuming it's basketball because they were all very, 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 very tall. And that was what was so cute. So Barron, who of course is very tall, he's like practically 7 feet tall. I think he is 6'9". And apparently Barron was telling his father that the players on the Gators team are way, way taller than he is. And he is right. So one of the players came to get his photo taken behind the Resolute desk with Donald Trump. He is 7'9".
Oh my gosh.
And just seeing him and Trump was seated. Okay. So the contrast is even more jarring.
My gosh.
You guys, look at it.
And you're a beautiful looking guy.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen a taller person.
Is he a good player?
Oh my gosh. That is nuts.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I just thought that was incredible.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, he doesn't even have to like shoot the ball. He just like places it in there. He's just like, here's a ball. I'm going to hold it like this and I'm just going to go. That's how.
I'm just gonna place it.
I'm just gonna place it right there into that basket. That's all I'm gonna do. Yeah,
it's so true. I mean, that is some serious hype right there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's
I
wrong?
just lost. Well, I can't see you. So
You
like
can't?
I just lost. Yeah, my monitor just went dark and I can't see you, and so I can't
But
see.
you can hear
what
me?
I'm supposed
Can you hear
it's just-
me? Danger, Will Robinson.
I don't
Can
know
you hear
why
me?
Why?
That's weird. Why did
the
it
monitor
stop?
go black? And it says
Did
it's,
Maisie
going
hit
into
it?
Oh man, it's going into standby mode, and I really need to see
things.
Like, how am I going to do this?
Everybody, we can all see you, and people can see me. So,
but like, I don't know how to open the tab to get it.
That's weird.
How am I going to do this?
Did Maisie hit something with?
No, she's totally out. Like it just went black, like for no reason. Like I don't think that I hit it. But yeah, like it's done hit. And I don't know if I'm going to be able, I can't even turn it off, you guys. Like I can't even turn off the show. Like I don't know how I'm going to end the show.
Really? It's never going to end, you guys. It is the never ending show. I know Craig, we love technical. This is why our show is so endearing.
Okay. Wait a minute. I had a tab. There. Okay, it's back. It's back.
All
right.
We're back.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know what happened. That was super crazy because I do have other things to show you, which are so cool. Like there is a school in, where is this? Is it Chattanooga? Let me remind. Yes, Chattanooga. This is the coolest video that's going around right now. Graduates from the school named McCallie School. It's in Chattanooga. They had their 6th graders, like way back in the day, 6th graders were asked, what do you want to ask your like high school self?
This broke me yesterday.
Oh my God, this is the coolest thing. And so I don't have all of it. It's like well over, I mean, it's a long video. So I'm giving you the gist. And so then the high schoolers, they're about to graduate, see themselves as itty bitties, 6th graders, asking themselves questions. It's the coolest little thing. Here's just a tiny snippet from it because it's just the neatest thing, you guys.
Hey, Cannon, this is your 6th grade self. Remember me? I've got a few questions for you.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Will, this is your 6th grade self. I got a few questions for you.
I can't.
Hi, Nikinji, this is your 6th grade self. You remember me? I have a few questions for you.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Christian, this is your 6th grade self, and I gotta ask you a few questions.
Hey, Ward, this is your 6th grade self. I've got a few questions for you. Is your favorite hobby still solving a Rubik's Cube, just like me?
I thought it was so tough for being able to do that back in the day.
Hey, Ward, is your favorite food still Mexican?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Chipotle, for sure. Taco Mamacita.
Oh my God, I cannot. My
Hey,
heart.
Will, where are you going to college?
Yale. I'm going to Yale University. I'm going to study mechanical engineering.
I'm going to Tennessee Wesleyan University for college to play lacrosse.
I'm going to Mississippi State for college.
I'm going to the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa.
And one more thing, Roll Tide.
Yes, Roll Tide.
God bless him.
Look at the befores and afters.
Just not my heart. I cannot deal, you guys.
Isn't that the cutest?
I get emotional. I can't deal. They're not even my kids. And I'm crying. I cannot. Oh my gosh. I can't deal with it. My daughter is a sophomore now. Yesterday, I texted you because I picked Gwen up from school. I'm sorry. It just makes me very emotional. And I'm like, she's a sophomore now. I can't deal with how quickly it happens, you guys. I can't.
It's so fast.
And we both
it's so
have
handy
sophomores.
because we both have sophomores. Yeah, I was
We
just going to
both
say,
have
because mine is
sophomores.
about to be a sophomore in college and yours is a sophomore in high school, and they're going to graduate at the same time.
I know. And it'll be handy. Like when she graduates college, she'll be ready to marry her. So it'll be great. But still.
It was just such a neat thing. All right, there's more fun stuff. We also have, I don't know why, probably no one else is going to laugh at this. I'm just the only one that thought it was funny. But there was this chick that went to a grocery store and decided to take her phone and just walk up to complete random strangers and take selfie videos with them without saying anything to see what the reactions would be. And the reactions are all over the place. And I don't know why I thought this was so funny, but I did. Check it out.
I love it. Some people are just like, hey. She's like striking a pose.
Can you imagine? Like, what would you do?
I'd smile. I'd probably like get in there with her and I'd be like, hey, what's up? That one guy's like, I am Homer in the bushes. Don't want to get a picture with you.
I love that so much because it's just so random.
It was pretty random.
Also, if you're interested in a key to longevity, apparently raw garlic, super good for you, as this woman is about to explain.
Italian grandfather told me that my great uncle would eat raw garlic every single day, and the only time he ever went to the hospital was the day that he died. He was 7.
And no one wanted to be around him because he smelled like crap. Right?
Okay, so maybe it doesn't work according to that story.
He was 7, you guys.
Oh my gosh. And then lastly, we have a question about dogs.
Oh my gosh.
But it's not real dogs. It's these dogs.
Got some questions for you. All right. Pluto, a dog.
Dog.
Goofy, also a dog.
Is he? Yeah.
What's going on here?
It's the hierarchy. It's the dog hierarchy. You know, there's
I also
always
have questions. I mean,
well,
I
there's
gotta
always
say.
an alpha. Remember that video I sent you yesterday of the white scruffy dog that went through, and there's a hierarchy of dogs.
It's true. There is a hierarchy.
That's the thing. He's the alpha, obviously.
Oh my God.
That's
That cracked me
happening.
up. All right. We have thank yous from like long
do.
ago. I mean, these could be
Sorry.
several days old.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't get to all of them yesterday.
Amanda Barnard said Zero Hedge Guy referenced Mr. Middleton, very prominent man in Central Arkansas and Clinton's advisor when he was governor. Bill was in town when he died, but it wasn't advertised. I know someone who had to help make accommodations. Not the only death that occurred when Bill was quietly in town.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun.
Yes.
Also, thank you to Curtis Woods, who said, in regards to Bruce Springsteen and Taylor Swift, I will borrow the title of a Laura Ingraham book, Shut Up and Sing.
Yes.
Indeed.
Exactly.
I think Curtis, there might be another one. No. Kelly 1106 over in the ball pit said, I would love you ladies to ask for a Megyn Kelly interview. Safe travels tomorrow, Mock. You should look up our Megyn Kelly interview. We were both on her show and had her on our show. So if you go to YouTube and just do Megyn Kelly Chicks on the Right, you'll get both of those interviews.
Yep.
Ours with her and her with us.
We did it.
Yeah. And it was great. I mean, it was
was.
absolutely one of our
Amazing.
favorites.
Love her.
Let's see. We also
interviewed her back in our radio days too.
Yeah, that's right.
A long time ago. Yep.
Jennifer Story says, please say a prayer for the family of one of our U.S. Marines who succumbed to PTSD Saturday. His company was bombed at Abbey Gate. It is so frustrating and so sad that this young man faced the demons so many of our vets have to face after these events that never should have happened. And she went on to say, thank you for being dissenting voices with a bigger reach than me. I left my daughter in Texas this weekend to start her military wife life. I have to do better so she never has to go through what ZC's family is going through right now. Keep fighting the good fight, COTR, from Jen's story.
God bless that family. You guys pray for them.
Yes, indeed. And then today, Marilyn Ayre says, good morning, beautiful chicks. From now on, I'm calling him Jackass Tapper. Take my money. Venmo would not let me spell the Jack word out.
That's
used dollar
actually
signs.
That's a really good nickname. I like it.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
All right, now you.
Okay. Avatar Ashkenazi. Good morning from New York. Came to visit my friends who just had a baby girl and decided to name her Palestine. I'm so done with New York. What?
You have got to be kidding me.
In the world. There's no way.
Oh my God.
What do you call her for short? Pal? Honestly.
Probably Tina. I'm going to guess Tina.
Oh my God. Mary Walsh. Good morning. I am so curious. Do the babies look like your baby pictures? You know what we should get our baby pictures and show them. You want to do that? We should do
like,
that.
it's interesting because like when we see, for example, the baby videos that are made of Theo Von, I see Theo Von as a baby.
Yeah, totally.
When I look at myself, the baby picture, I don't see me at all. And I don't really see you. I just don't really see us.
I didn't look like that when I was a baby, but we should get our baby pictures and show them. Look, dig some up this weekend and we'll show them like on Monday. You want to do that? That'd be fun for everybody.
I'll totally forget, but yes.
I'll help you remember. And if I have to, I'll contact your mama. Daisy, I don't think Ernie Els was a bad move. He is from South Africa. He also supports farmers in South Africa. Goosen also supports farmers. Those are the golfers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they were saying too that the farmers were actually being killed. So I don't know if it was I don't know, because he's like, hey, I have white friends, but they also are saying that the farmers are being killed. So
oh my God,
what are you doing there? What are you doing? Julie Wolf, Kim won't be a lawyer till she passes the bar. That's the hard part. Yeah, it is the hard part. But go ahead and throw it's any excuse to throw a party, right? And like put it on the gram. That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Robin Dye, funny meme online yesterday. Comey's wife reports he also doesn't know the meaning of 69. I love that. That was great, Robin. All right, Seth McMillan. I'd be a Richard Weed for MK to spank me. I think
now that's inappropriate.
Seth is naughty. Very naughty. Bo Mama 8, question. I heard something earlier this week and need a verification. Was Fauci's preemptive pardon revoked? Because I missed it somehow if it was.
I haven't heard that.
Would be awesome. We will have to research today. Leah Shallek. It's not just that Hunter's a crackhead. It's that Hunter, Jill, Kamala, and the Democrats did something illegal and unconstitutional. It was a coup. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but
doesn't need to roll.
It's also pretty bad that he's a crackhead too. Connie Canal, Trump 45 years ago is not the same as today. He is no longer a Democrat, so he is smarter. That's true.
Good point.
He is smarter. Alexandra, a man's personality that is more rich than his wealth status is more attractive than a rich a-hole. Yes. Arnerm, her lack of looks aside, she fails to understand that a good woman inspires her man to great success. If he's already at 800,000, he doesn't need her.
No, he needs like a hot model.
It's true. It's very true. Aaron Krieger, asking for more prayers today, heading in for my 1-year cancer follow-up this afternoon. I'm full of nerves, but I know it's in God's hands. Everybody pray for Aaron. Everybody
yes, we will
pray
be
for
thinking
her.
about you. Faux show.
Yes, Aaron. Robin Dye. Megan recaps the book's juicy parts at the end of the interview. Yeah, so we don't have to read it. So go support Megan. Don't support Tapper. Okay. Don't do that. You guys bring it in.
Phenomenal.
Oh, I'd like to point out the Dana Spain.
Bring it in before you do.
Okay,
bring it in. Bring it in.
I'm sorry. God, she said, go, pow.
Now you
Lord.
can say whatever.
All right. Dana Spain got me these earrings, you guys. Look how pretty they are. I got them yesterday and they were in this beautiful, look at this beautiful like thing that they came in.
Ooh.
I know, it was so fancy. She sent me this lovely note. So Dana, mwah, mwah, mwah. You know what? American Airlines can suck it. Look how beautiful. You know, I wear hoops all the time. So it's so sweet, Dana. Thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful Thursday. We're going to talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.